Hey Jarrett, Theo Lawson with the Spokesman Review. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good to meet you. How would you kind of evaluate your first live scrimmage situation with Washington State, and how far have you kind of come in these 5, 6 practices with live reps and then kind of learning the playbook on the fly?
Yeah. Overall, an okay day. Obviously, there's a lot to work on, a lot of growth that needs to be done with myself and the offense. But we've kind of taken an approach as an offense that every day we want to get better. If that's at one thing, if that's at a few things, we want to get better at as an overall offense. So today it was a good chance to be out there against a defense with no coaches on the field and kind of get some live reps and being able to make some mistakes on our own and being able to make some big plays on our own. So it's a good learning experience. And overall, I was pretty happy with the offense's performance today.
What's maybe been the trickiest part about learning the system for you? And did you know anything about the run and shoot offense before coming to Wazoo?
No, I mean, I watched Hawaii games, a little bit of them when I was at my other school, but I didn't know too much. And it's a little tricky to run and shoot, but it's going to be an everyday thing. Overall, it's kind of just seeing the different type of footwork and different types of run actions and those type of things that come with it. But I've enjoyed it so far.
Are you pretty comfortable in locker rooms and kind of asserting yourself as a leader? And has that kind of come natural for you, stepping up? And obviously, the quarterback has to be the leader of a locker room and leader of a football team. Has that been a pretty natural thing for you so far?
Uh, I would be lying if I said yes. I mean, you go into a completely different place, you go across the country, and the guys are different in locker rooms. I mean, I'm an East Coast guy, and when I come to the West Coast, there's a lot of guys from the West side of America. So to be honest, it was a little weird. I mean, I came in with the idea that I kind of wanted to make relationships first, and then over time get better. I'll know these guys better, and I'll be able to kind of resume that leadership role. But honestly, it's not very easy going into the locker room and just saying, okay, I'm going to be the big man here. You got to kind of get relationships with the guys. You got to feel the surroundings out, and then you got to show them how hard you can work. So those were kind of the steps that I took.
Who was maybe the first player that reached out to you, or the first player that you kind of were able to build a connection with when you committed?
It was either Max Borghi or Brian Green.
What did Max and Brian say to you? If you can
They
share.
just talked about how excited they were to have me and that they were looking forward to the future. And I mean, just hearing from those guys are really team captains, team leaders. It kind of helped with the transition a little bit. I mean, this is an older team too, so there's not too big of an age gap between myself and those guys. But it was very nice to have those guys hit me up instantly as soon as I decided to commit here.
What was the best offensive play of today's scrimmage in your mind, if you could kind of pick one out, or maybe two of them?
From what standpoint, the offenses? Because I think Cam did a very nice job on one play, giving Drake Owen a chance on a seam vertical, and Drake made a heck of a catch. I mean, he had a great day, and he was able to scoop maybe for 50 yards, 30 after the catch. So I think the offense overall had some really good standpoints. Obviously, there's things to work on to fix, just like any other game or scrimmage atmosphere. But I would probably say that was the biggest play. Drake Owen made a lot of good plays. Lincoln Victor made a lot of really good plays, but there was some stuff clicking on the offense today. Still got to watch the tape. It's never as good as it seems. It's never as bad as it seems.
Thanks, Jarrett.
All right, Jarrett, next question. Zach Armstrong from Coug Fan. Go ahead, Zach.
Hey, Jarrett, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. How has your relationship sort of grown in this short amount of time with Coach Stutzman, and how would you sort of describe his coaching style with the quarterbacks?
I've really enjoyed Coach Stutz. Honestly, I've had a bunch of quarterback coaches, a bunch of offensive coordinators, and he's definitely one of my favorites. And it's an everyday thing. I just met Coach. I had like 2-3 weeks to decide where I wanted to go to school, so that was a little bit of a grooming process. And I just met him. What is it? Middle of January. So every day it's kind of more comfortable with Coach Stutz, with Coach Rolo. I mean, it's an everyday thing. But I've really enjoyed my time with Coach Stutz, and I enjoy how hard he is on me, as well as he's trying to teach me the ropes. So he's kind of lenient with some things, but I really appreciate his coaching style.
And you talked a little bit about the differences with a West Coast team and West Coast guys, but outside of football, just how has it been transitioning into Pullman, and what are your sort of initial thoughts when you came to Pullman?
Initial thoughts: a lot of hills. What else? very different. I'm from New Jersey, so I'm like 10 minutes from New York City. So you kind of go from that, and then I went to my other school. That was kind of in the country area, so a lot of land, and then I came here, a lot of hills. But I've enjoyed it. I really like this campus. The guys make it a lot more fun around here, honestly. But Pullman has been very good to me so far.
Thank you.